Christine was born into a dysfunctional Protestant family in 1951 in Bangor, Northern Ireland. At the height of the Troubles in 1969, after completing her basic education, she worked for a year in bomb-riddled Belfast before deciding to migrate to South Africa, a country terrorized by the apartheid government and simmering with racial tension. Christine arrived in South Africa as a naive 19-year-old, saddened by having to leave Ireland and blissfully unaware that she was entering a country not without its own troubles. We had the great chance to meet her today to present her new published book in collaboration with Eurobox, entitled From Shamrock to Springbok. Hi, Christine, and thank you for accepting this invitation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, also thank you.
Please, first of all, let's present the book. What is From Shamrock to Springbok about?
Well, it's literally just my journey, and throughout my life there's been numerous hills and valleys and things I've had to overcome. And often people would say to me, you should write a book about your life story. And so it really is just my journey from Ireland to South Africa, and then of course we go back to Ireland and we go back to South Africa, but that was too long a title. But it's just what happened to me, how I grew up in South Africa as opposed to Ireland, and the things that I had to put up with, and just like life is what it is, and you have to get on with it, and that's exactly what I did.
And why? What pushed you to write in a certain moment of your life your personal story? What can your personal story teach to the readers?
I must admit that most of the people that said to me I should write this all down were medical people, because I spent, as people will know if they've read it, a long time in therapy. And I wasn't very good at that. And it was recently, it came into my head about writing it. And I think that might have been two things. Number one is that I do at the moment have cancer. And I thought it would be also a nice thing to leave for my daughter and for people that I know. The other thing was that when I heard about the Cronus Project, it really resonated with me, because I thought people in their own lives, regardless what, can give a really good viewpoint of the history of what was going on in the countries they lived in. And that was something that I really wanted to do. And that's what I've done.
A personal story is always more difficult to share than creating a new fantasy story. So what was the most difficult part to share while you were writing, and why?
I'm not sure if it was the writing or it was actually the reading after I'd written it. My childhood in Ireland was very tough. And I don't think I'm the only one. I think it happened a lot in Ireland. And the abuse that I suffered, I didn't really write too much about it in the book, because many, many books have been written about this. And I didn't want us to focus in any way upon, say, sexual abuse. It wasn't part of my plan. And I also didn't want to hurt people, because you got to remember that there are people around who are still there. And I didn't want to hurt anybody or start a fight with people. But I didn't want it to be another book about Ireland and sexual abuse.
Now that you have your book finally published, how did it feel, first of all, when you saw it? And what would you like to tell your readers now that you have the chance to?
I think it was a big shock. I don't know how other people who've written books But you sort of look at it and you think, and you open it and you go through the pages and you think, my goodness, did I write that? And in fact, I had to, I mean, it was like I was reading it for the first time because the way we wrote it was different to the way it's been put in the book, if you know what I mean. So it was quite interesting to read it in its book form from A to Z. I think, everybody says it's a great achievement. And I find it very easy to write. Once I started, it just bubbled out of me. And I am proud. And I hope some people do read it because I think I've captured a bit of the time, which to me was really important.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you for your time today, despite the difficulties, and we will want to wish you very good luck with your book.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day.
This is the extraordinary story of an ordinary person who lived through the political storms of two countries, whose dysfunctional family left her with emotional demons to conquer, who was a single mother to her daughter, and who faced such unexpected situations that one only usually reads about them in books. From Shamrock to Springbok by Christine Meyrick is now available in bookstores and digital platforms, a publication by Eurobox.